not going to use a translator today, and it's just an all-in, so I don't know who's going to start us off the broadcast.
Steve, you can just start with injury updates with available as well.
This man next to me is available. He's trained the last couple of days and come through and looked very good, so Scott's available. Ryan Jack won't make it tomorrow. Hollander's played in a reserve game last night, played 45 minutes and come through okay. Jermaine Defoe's going to be out for a minimum couple of weeks. He's got a calf problem. James Tavernier never trained today. He's still got this foot problem. But we'll give James every chance. We'll wait till the last minute on James and we'll go from there.
How excited are you about this last 16 tie tomorrow night?
Yeah, very excited. I think it's a fantastic game for myself, the players and our supporters, and I think together we've earned this chance and we've earned the right. We've done ever so well since the first qualifying round. We're the only team left in it from that stage, so of course we're very excited and really looking forward to the game.
Do you have to take advantage of having this crowd behind you in the first round?
Yeah, always. I think the crowd will definitely be with us. I think they really appreciate the work and the effort that's gone in to get us to this stage. These were the nights that they wanted when I first come in the door, is the pride back amongst the European competition, and the players have earned that, so I'm sure the fans are going to be right behind us and we're certainly going to need them.
Steven, can I get your reaction to the tongue leg being made behind closed doors next week?
I'm not delighted about it, that's for sure, because I think football's all about atmospheres and supporters and people getting the opportunity to go and follow the team, and especially when you're at this stage of a competition. I know how excited our own supporters are, so for both clubs it's not an ideal situation, but it is what it is. We've all got to follow medical or the experts in this situation and do what we're told.
Have you played in a match behind closed doors before?
Not a professional game, I don't think. Not off the top of my head. I've obviously played in a lot of reserve games where there's very little people in the crowd, and I've also played in like bounce games, for example, at Anfield or on an international break where a team comes in and you play 11v11, and you know, it's not what you look forward to really as a player. You know, part of being a footballer is the experience of playing in great atmospheres with fans behind you. But we all have to accept the rules. I don't think we've had official confirmation on this just yet from our end, but it's certainly looking likely that it is going to be the case.
What do you say to the Rangers fans, because they obviously travel in numbers, they have throughout this competition, that do still want to or do still attempt to go there, whether they're getting to the stadium or not?
Well, I'm no expert in terms of giving advice out in this situation. I think it's a very unique situation that I've never faced before, and I'm sure the fans will do what they want to do. So I'm not really sure what message to give them really. If they decide they've already paid for flights and booked flights and they want to go and support the team in any way, shape or form, I'll go with that.
Stephen, how has the spread of this coronavirus disrupted your preparations, not only for this game but also the next week as well?
Well, so far it hasn't really. We've had a couple of meetings with our own medical team. We've also had to attend some meetings to do with the SFA on the coronavirus, and we're basically just following medical instructions. But in terms of our preparation on the pitch and the tactical side of it, there has been no impact as of yet. So preparation's gone fine, and we're ready and ready to go.
You'll be able to get the scouts out to watch Leverkusen with travel disruption, things like that?
Yes, we've had scouts at the last 3-4 games, and my own personal analyst was at the last league game of the weekend.
Considering the sort of measures Germany putting in place for next week, is there a worry about you guys going over there, considering how sort of vast the spread of the virus is over in Germany at the moment?
I think it'll only become a worry for us if our own medical people that we trust in this situation tell us it's going to be a worry or a concern. That isn't the case as of yet. So we'll just follow the instructions that we're told by UEFA and by our own medical team, and we'll do what we have to do. I think it's a concern and a worry for everyone worldwide. I've got the same concerns as yourself in this situation, and it seems as if it's obviously growing and growing. So We'll have to just take it day by day, and you know, we've got a fantastic medical team in place, and we trust UEFA entirely in terms of the protocol what we have to follow.
Just finally from me on this, in terms of the season as a whole, both in Europe and domestically, if it comes to having to put all these matches behind closed doors in order to get the season finished, is that something that you would sort of go along with?
Of course, if that's what we're told to do, we'll have to do it. I think it'd be a real big shame for everyone around Europe and the world if the league campaigns and cup competitions can't finish, because people have earned the opportunity to get to the stage where everyone's at. So I don't want to see anything finish right now. If we're told the only way to get stuff finished off is to play behind closed doors, and we're told to do that, we'll follow.
Stephen, you said you had your own personal scout looking at Leverkusen. What have you made
Sorry?
Your own personal scout looking at Leverkusen
Yes.
At the weekend. What have you made of them and the danger they'll pose tomorrow night?
When I say my own personal scout, we have the Rangers scouts that follow teams and the opposition and do analysis on all the oppositions we play domestically and in Europe. But in this occasion, I set my own analysts who I work on a daily basis with, because we had the opportunity to do that and we had the time to do it, just to get another set of eyes on them. But even, you know, outside of the scouts and the recruitment and the people that we've had watching them, I know they're a fantastic team. I think anyone who's sitting in the top four of the German league and the Bundesliga, you have to respect instantly. I think the German's one of the strongest leagues in the world. And this is a team that's competing with Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund and Leipzig, who have shown over the last 2-3 weeks in the Champions League that they compete with the top teams in the Premier League. So we know what we're dealing with, we know the challenge. But going back to the first question, this is an opportunity that we all want to try and look forward to and relish, and go and give it our best shot.
What is your best performance this season if coming Europe? How confident the boys can get back to levels that you showed them to
I think we'll find a performance. I can see the boys focused in the preparation. They're lively in the last couple of sessions. So, you know, we all know as a group, collectively, we're going to have to find a performance if we're to compete with this level of opposition. You know, but sometimes it takes an opposition like this to roll in to find your best, and let's hope that's the case.
Stephen, you said 7 days ago after the defeat to Hamilton, you felt flat. How do you feel now, 7 days on?
Yeah, but 10 days ago I felt on top of the world. I felt awesome, and I felt so proud of my team because they just knocked Braga out the competition. And if you've done your own work like I've done my own work, I think Braga have lost 2 in 13 and they've just sold the manager for 8.5 million. So that's what happens when you're a manager. Some games and performances and results make you feel a little bit down and flat, and you've got to bounce back from them. And some performances make you feel incredible, and you've got to try and pull yourself back and stay balanced. I'm not perfect at that just yet, but it's certainly an area of my game that I'm going to try and improve.
There's been a lot made about those highs and lows for Europe to domestic form. Do you notice a difference in the players going into these European games?
I have on certain days in certain situations, and I think we're here to talk about this game, and I definitely see a focus and a determination to go and put a real good proud show on for our fans. When these fans are behind us in this stadium and we can find that level, we're a good team. We're a good team. So we believe we can compete with anyone that rolls in here.
And you had your first experience of VAR over in Braga. Can I just get your thoughts on how you thought that worked?
Well, we haven't had any issues so far in terms of us personally. I think the VAR and the both games against Braga went pretty smooth for the officials and us. We're pleased that it's in place because, you know, you see a game domestically at the weekend again where a blatant penalty is being missed. You know, over these both 290 minutes for both teams, it'll be the outcome won't be decided on situations that happen in the game, which is great for both teams.
Scott, can I just ask how you feel about going over there and playing the away tie behind closed doors as a player?
Similar to the gaffer's feelings on it. I think when you play football you want to play in front of people, but overall kind of focus on it is you need to try and win the game. The focus, the challenge doesn't make any difference. We're going to need a big performance, like a Braga performance, whether there's people in the stadium or not. But of course, if that happens and it's official, then we feel sorry for our fans, because through the whole competition last season and this season they've followed his numbers.
And I guess for you guys as players, you've played so well to get to this stage in the competition. You want those special atmospheres, you want those special nights, don't you?
Of course, and Germany's
very well known and for the atmosphere. So it was one we were looking forward to. But of course, the bigger picture is people's health, and the people that are in a far bigger picture for us, then they take the necessary treatment on it, and us as players just need to go out and play football.
It's a bit of a strange week in terms of the Old Firm games coming up on Sunday, but there doesn't even seem to be a lot of focus because this is such an important game. Is that almost a blessing in disguise that you can just focus on tomorrow night?
I think it can be at times. For us, throughout the whole season, and particularly since the staffers came in, it's always been that one game mentality. So I think we'd be naive to overlook this sort of opposition and this sort of stage in this competition. So I think if you think in the next game, then you're going to come in for a tough night. So of course it takes the focus off that game, and after Thursday night, Friday morning, we start looking at the next game.
Because earlier on last season in Europe, I think the manager repeated that you had to believe you could hurt teams. It now seems that you do have that belief. Is that what the squad see as well?
Certainly. I think if you look at the Braga performances and as the two games, I think we deserve to be in this on merit. I think the two performances were, particularly the last half an hour, obviously here, getting the 3 goals and going after them, and then a completely different performance over there when we were compact and contained them for the last periods of the game, and Ryan scores his goal. So we're going to need that sort of belief, that sort of structure within this if we're going to go any further.
Scott, do you view this as a step up from any of the previous opposition you faced this season?
I think very similar. I think if you're looking at the sort of leagues that they play in and the calibre of players that they come up against on a weekly basis, then you'd probably say that the Germans are, that sort of league is a far better league. But we don't take any opposition lightly, particularly the Portuguese. When Braga, they were in a rich vein of form coming into the game, so we knew we were up against it. And likewise with Leverkusen, we know exactly what we're up against here. We've done some homework. Hopefully we know how to hurt them, but we know how they can hurt us. So as I said, we've done our homework and we'll look forward to this game.
Scott, what is it about the European games that's got it best in the team?
I think under the lights, European football, I think if you look at any club, any fans that has the opportunity to come to their games, and players are no different, you want to perform in their stages. And I think as a whole, particularly this place is rocking, I think there's no better place to play really.
Steven, could Leverkusen not having any fans, the game in Germany potentially work in Rangers' favour?
I think first things first, we have to obviously face Leverkusen tomorrow here in front of a full house, and then I think we analyse the next test and challenge from the final whistle really. See what the scoreline is, see how the first game went. By that time we'll have experienced them up close and personal in terms of the strengths and the weaknesses. But of course, having no supporters there at this level of game will have an impact. I'm sure it will. But I think you have to analyse that situation and come back to that question after the first leg to see where the scoreline and the tie lies.
How is your pitch likely to play tomorrow night, Steve?
Well, unfortunately we weren't in a position to allow ourselves or Leverkusen to train on the pitch. I think it's been well documented the problems we've had and the extreme weather conditions we've had over the past 8 to 12 weeks. It's not in fantastic condition, but the groundsman and the staff have been working tirelessly to improve it. It is slightly better than what it was when Braga came into town, but what we wanted to do is give both sets of players the best playing service we could provide, and obviously training on that this evening or training on this morning in terms of ourselves wouldn't have helped the situation. So I think that the right decision was made, but we do apologise for not making it available for Leverkusen.
Stephen, is there something to be done about the pitch?
Yeah, it will be rectified in the future.
Will it affect how you approach the game tomorrow night at all? Are you still confident you play the style of game that you would like to play?
Yeah, I think we'll always try and we don't look to a pitch. Sometimes we'll adapt within game or prior to a game, but I don't think the pitch is in a condition where we have to rip up and tear apart our game plan or our style. But we have to be sensible, and if it is a wet night during 90 minutes and the pitch does begin to cut up, obviously as a player sometimes you have to maybe alter your decisions in game.
can I ask also that Alfredo has been a talisman for you at this level, this season in particular. Are you looking for a big performance from him tomorrow night? And how would you assess his form just over the last few weeks when he's not been scoring as freely as he has?
Well, I think one thing's for sure, for us to have any chance of progression through this stage, we're going to have all the players in form and at it, and to bring the best and max out over the course of both 90 minutes. Alfredo's no different. I think Alfredo's aware of where his form's at. I think we're all aware of that. But we all know that he's very capable at this level against this type of opposition, and him being at his best and providing or taking chances for us gives us a much better chance of progression. But I've got a decision to make in the number 9 position.
Okay, can you start wrapping up, please?
Where do you feel his form's at?
I've seen him in better form, but I also see him working ever so hard to get himself back there. You know, and if he's picked tomorrow, or whoever's picked in that number 9 position, we need a real selfless performance, and we need them to be really tuned into what we're looking for from a tactical point of view. You know, no one within this game plan or system can go off and do what they want, because it can be really damaging to the team and how we want to play.
When you say you've got a decision to make, Steven, is the way Canberra played in Braga, is that kind of in your mind that well that worked as part of the team system?
I think it's definitely on my mind for sure. I think Canberra, to be fair to him, has been a breath of fresh air, whether it be from a cameo from the bench or when we've asked him to start. I think he's really tried to carry out what we've asked of him. He's brought energy to the team. Again, at the weekend, you can see his impact by his presence and his selfless style, the way he plays. So I've been really pleased with him. But over the course of both games, I'm sure we're going to need Alfredo and Flo, because obviously it's very disappointing not to have Jermaine Defoe available. He'll miss both games.
You haven't made your decision yet on who the striker is, but what will be the kind of last thing that affects that decision for you?
It won't just be one single thing. It'll be who I think in front of this crowd can do the best job for the team, and I'll go from there. But I haven't made the decision just yet.
Okay, let's end
Can I
there.
just ask one, Stephen, if James doesn't make it, do you have an issue at right back? Is Polster registered for this time?
Do we have an issue at right back?
Yeah, is Polster, is he registered for this time?
Yeah, he's registered, yeah. Plus we can also use young Nathan from the B list as well.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much.